people, welcome back to the Empower Journal, a space to create the life you want to live. I'm your host Dev. Join me on today's show exclusively for you on Amazon Music and Spotify. This is the place where we cut through the noise and get real about life, growth, and bold stories of people building careers, lives on their own terms. And today, we are talking about something that's more relevant now than ever. With so much of changings, layoff, new tech building, upskilling, and career switches, people are actually wondering, what if I want to do more than one thing? Like, can I change direction and still be taken seriously? Or is it too risky to explore different interests when everybody else is chasing stability? See, let me tell you something. Today, work is changing so fast, and sticking to one job or one title for life just doesn't make sense anymore. And to explore that space, I have someone who's been navigating this space long before it even became a trend. You know, those rare people who have done it all, like built companies, mentored startups, and supported mental health, and somehow still have time to run marathons? And yes, that's today's guest, Mr. Vishwanath, with over 35 years of global experience across continent and industries, from leading Fortune 500 companies to guiding young entrepreneurs and supporting mental health. So, if you ever thought about taking a different path or creating your own, this episode is for you. Let's get into it. Today, his journey stands as a great example of how careers can be flexible and meaningful, not only in the entertainment industry, but across. So, Mr. Vish, it's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me as well.
Thank you for joining us and welcome to the Empower Journal. Before we dive in, Mr. Vishwanath, is there anything you would like to share to set the stage?
I think this is a concept, portfolio life is a concept that I think I have practiced, and it has done very many good things for me. And my idea here in doing this is to share my experience, journey and knowledge.
Got it. So let's start with the basics, because this concept is still new for many of us. Like, what exactly is a career portfolio and how is it different from having multiple jobs or side hustles?
Okay, so portfolio life is a broader concept. It's actually a lifestyle.
Okay.
Kind of lifestyle where people engage in multiple interests and multiple activities, rather than conforming themselves to a single job or a single profession or even a couple of different jobs. What it does is that, basically think of it this way. Concept is a portfolio of activities. Some of the activities we do for earning money. Some you do for fulfilling your interest. You may be interested in doing few things, maybe writing, archaeology, music, whatever.
Right.
Some could be for personal growth, that you want to also over time learn and grow and learn new skills and grow into a different person than what you are today. Some could be for pleasure. You want to go for a vacation, you want to have free time to do other activities. And some could be for a cause or giving back to society. Because at the end of the day, the most happy moments, at least in my experience, have been time when I'm able to contribute back to society. So this portfolio life essentially encompasses all these things: doing for money, doing for interest, doing for personal growth, doing for pleasure, and doing for a cause. The different bits fit together like a puzzle to form what I call a balanced whole than some of the parts, basically.
Okay, so
Yes.
we would like to know, now that you have defined it, let's talk about your journey, because you were living a portfolio life long before this term even went mainstream. How did your own portfolio career evolve? Was it something you planned, or did it unfold over time through curiosity and shifts?
Well, most of it unfolded over time. As with most people, when you finish your education, you look for a job and you look for a stable career, and you start working that career and focus on a job. Obviously, in the early stages of your career, you want to focus on a job to gain skills and also be able to establish your position, credibility, etc.
Okay.
But to me, my job involved traveling to various parts of the world. I was in international business development, and I noticed that people, when I work with them in different countries, have very different definitions of what constitutes success. And it's always intrigued me how human beings in different parts of the world look at life very differently. And during those visits to all these countries, I used to engage in conversations trying to pick their mind on what they think is a success. And over time, I found out that working and earning money is definitely important. It's not a crime to earn money, but there are a lot more parts of ourselves that we kind of not leverage. Indeed, in fact, we actually try to suppress them, that thinking that we need to work more to make more money to be stable and happy. Now, as we all know, earning money is good, but it's not going to be the ultimate recipe for happiness. And of course, in the world where new technologies and new ideas are evolving, I see a lot of young people who I work with who are experimenting with new ideas and technologies. So I always wanted to help them, which resulted in my interest in angel investments. And finally, the one that is the most significant is at the age of 45, I realized that long distance running was something that was giving me the tranquility and peace, helping me to have a clarity of thought. So I adopted doing long distance marathon running. So all these different things happened at various points in my life due to various interactions and various circumstances. Pulling them all together into something meaningful and sustainable is what I thought was the best part of the effort I did to produce the results I'm enjoying today.
Wow. I started working at 19, doing like everything from event management to anchoring shows to working in a retail sales setup. In fact, people kept telling me to pick one thing. In fact, sometimes I felt like something was wrong with me because I was interested in so many things while my friends were laser focused on climbing the corporate ladder. It's not that I wasn't disciplined or willing to work hard. I was just curious about so many things at the same time. In fact, that curiosity has shaped everything today, I believe. What advice would you give to someone like that who wants to build a career portfolio?
Good question, because as much as it sounds good to be concept, how do I practice it? Very good question. So I think I would say that a few things you can think about how to get started. One of the things that you have to realize here is that by doing this, you may not be able to focus on a full-time career. And that's the choice you're making. And when not focusing on a full-time career, then you're obviously going to have to manage the financial implications of that. It's not that, it's a either or. I don't think it's an either or. You can still have a very firm, good financial plan and at the same time enjoy this portfolio life activity. But planning is necessary to make sure that you have adequate income and stability. And finally, I would say that start with things that you think you're interested in. Experimentation is a big part of that. I would say start with some small activities. Like in the case of social work, I started doing some freelance. So all of the above, self-assessment, skill development, networking, financial planning, experimentation, I think all of them are required. I would advise people that you don't have to wait until later in life to do that. I ended up doing it in the second half of my career. After I turned 50 is when I pretty much dived into this entire portfolio and split my time across multiple activities. So today, if you ask me, who am I? This is another point I want to make. Who am I? Identity for yourself, right? Yeah. If you had asked me 20 years ago, who am I would have said I am VP in so-and-so company doing so-and-so job. What I didn't do justice for is that I am more than just my job. But for most people, when you ask them in the middle of their career, they're going to focus only on the job, what they're doing. You are your job, you're also all your interests and passions and activities, etc. So you want to make sure that you start defining yourself as a multifaceted personality much earlier and spend time incrementally over all the activities so that when the times come for you to make the final pivot and shift, you're prepared and ready to do that.
I feel that so much, especially when people ask, so what do you do exactly? And you have to shrink something that's expansive. Okay. Your ideas were actually comforting to hear. The concept, like it's nice to know we don't have to figure it all at once. You can take time and build as you go. So now let's flip to the brighter side also, because we don't talk enough about the good things of not choosing one lane. In your experience, what are the biggest benefits of building a career portfolio, both personally and professionally?
I think one of the most important things I notice is that it increases flexibility. Flexibility both in terms of how you earn your income as well as how do you spend your time. If you look at it this way, maybe I'll frame it this way. How do you measure success, right? Most people, when you talk about how do they measure success, most people are going to say it's a function of power or money or prestige. Most people will think that. I mean, it's not completely unusual or extra or wrong, but it's how most people think. Way I would like to think is success measurement should be based on work that you enjoy that you can monetize, of course, things that you can do for personal growth, having good relationships with people around you,
Okay.
having good health for you to be able to perform all these things, and finally, something that people don't think about, having free time. I can tell you the value of free time is something that I didn't recognize when I was in the middle of my career. Free time is something where you really have the independence to decide what you want to do. And that's such a great stress buster. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Okay, apart from the flow and the fulfillment, I believe you would have also encountered challenges, because especially in a world, everybody keeps asking, what do you do exactly, and the world is still valuing straight line careers. So what are some common challenges apart from facing people in pursuing a portfolio career, and how did you navigate them personally?
In today's world, the concept of income predictability has become completely obsolete. Not anyone's job is stable or steady all the time. But nevertheless, I guess the biggest challenge I had was time management. Now, unlike a straight line career where you know what your tasks and responsibilities and can do it, here, since you're juggling multiple different activities, now you have to do justice to each one of them. So that means that you have to spend adequate time practicing each one of them without doing anything less than perfect in all of them. So managing a time to allocate for learning, growth, execution of all these different activities is something that was quite challenging. You don't have the predictability of going to work, having certain meeting schedule, etc. Here, you may have to do things differently. And in some cases, people who are used to working in an office atmosphere, you may feel a little bit of isolation. I mean, this is like not different from work from home. But here, difference is that you're not working with the same people. So you have to encounter different situations based on the activity you're performing. There could be some where people are more professionally focused, and some people might be more socially focused. So the mindset is different.
That's actually inspiring to take. Okay, so here we come with the last question for the first segment. And for someone listening right now, again, maybe stuck, maybe even scared, and also curious, let's end with a moment of encouragement. What's that one simple step they can take today to start moving towards more intentional multi-dimension career?
I think a lot of it is going to be based on how you feel and what it means to you. I can't give a recipe that is one size fits all, but people have to try and experiment at one thing at a time in a very small scale to see how it works out. Now, obviously, the one that you pick at the very beginning may not be the one that you want to do for a long time, but that's okay to at least get a feel for how it is to engage and focus on activities beyond just your job. That would be the first thing I would say as the step to begin the transition to this concept.
That is a truly powerful reminder that it all starts with awareness of one small action. Mr. Vish, thank you for this conversation, because it's much needed mindset shift for so many of us navigating change. So I think it has added a lot of value to our audience. And before we wrap up, we are going to switch gears for a rapid fire segment.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so here is the first set of rapid fire questions. One career title you would give yourself if LinkedIn didn't exist?
I would say that a multidimensional influencer.
Love that. Way better than any buzzword out there, actually. Okay. Next is, last time you said no to something that didn't align.
People who are looking for a job want me to find a job for them. And there are instances that I said that I'm happy to do direction, but not get you the stuff that you want.
Yes. On this note, saying no really is a skill. Okay. So what is your choice? Remote work, hybrid, or off the grid? What's your vibe?
I think hybrid is the best thing I've seen.
That sounds like your happy place. Okay. One work-related trend you think that is overhyped, and one that is underrated?
Technological evolution is definitely overhyped, particularly in the concept of artificial intelligence. I think there are a lot of great things coming out of that, but there are a lot more hype happening than reality in that. Underrated thing is, I think, people skills.
Yes, I've been thinking that because some trends just don't live up to the hype, and compared to people's skill, it is nowhere there. Okay, so from all your adventures, what's one trekking lesson that helps you at work?
Not giving up.
Great. So, if you could spend a week shadowing anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why? I know.
Dead or alive? Okay. That's an interesting question. Probably Einstein.
Oh, okay. Okay, this is about you. The one underrated skill that's been a game changer for you.
I think communication skill. I think when I say communication, working with people.
That makes all the differences. Okay, here is the last question on the rapid fire. So, what's that one book or podcast that influenced your career choices?
If somebody wants to practice portfolio life, then I recommend seeing the book Portfolio Life by Christina Wallace.
Sounds like a good one. I'm definitely adding that to my list. So, thank you so much for being with us today, Mr. Vish. Your story is such a powerful reminder that careers don't have to follow the straight line.
Good luck. Good luck and best wishes to all of you.
To all our listeners, if today's conversation gave you something to think about or made you feel a little more seen in your own journey, do us a favor, share this episode with a friend and follow the Empower Journal on your favorite podcast app. And leave a review. It helps more stories like this to reach people who truly need them. Keep learning, keep exploring, and remember to pursue a career path to creating your powerful portfolio career. Nandri!